Our world was once home to many incredible sights that have now disappeared forever. Imagine a waterfall as grand as Niagara Falls, now just a quiet lake. How about towering statues once 180 feet high, now only empty spaces in a cliff? And think about the pink and white terraces, beautiful formations of mineral-rich waters now lost to time. Or a bustling lake, now nothing but a dry basin. Welcome back to another amazing episode of 4 Evergreen. Today we'll show you 15 amazing tourist attractions that no longer exist. From ancient temples to breathtaking natural wonders, each one held stories, beauty, and memories that are now just part of history. And stay tuned because you won't believe what happened to the Azure window in Malta. So let's get started. 15. Cave of Altamira. The Cave of Altamira, often referred to as the Sistine Chapel of Paleolithic art, is a treasure trove of prehistoric life, capturing vivid images of bison, deer, and wild boar that once roamed the region. For decades, visitors from around the world gathered to this site, willing to gaze upon the ancient artworks. However, the very act of visiting this cave posed a threat to its fragile legacy. The breath of thousands of tourists, combined with the subtle changes they brought to the cave's environment, increased humidity, water vapor, and carbon dioxide, began to take a toll. Mold started to form on the precious paintings, slowly disguising the art that had survived millennia. In an effort to preserve these irreplaceable works, authorities made the difficult decision to close the cave to the public in 2002. Recognizing the world's desire to still witness the beauty of Altamira's art, a replica cave and museum were constructed nearby. 14. Wedding Cake Rock. Perched along the rugged coast of the Royal National Park near Sydney, Wedding Cake Rock is a strikingly beautiful natural formation, famous for its flat, white layers that closely resemble a slice of layered wedding cake. At first, there were only around 2,000 visitors per month, but that quickly exploded to 10,000 thanks to Instagram yogis and influencers. Influencers and adventure seekers posed dangerously close to the edge, sometimes hanging their feet over the cliff for a photo. Tragically, this reckless behavior led to accidents, including a fatal fall that shook the community. Concerns grew when geological studies revealed that the rock was unstable and could collapse at any moment. Authorities installed a fence to prevent access, but it was not enough to deter some. People continued to risk their lives by jumping over the barrier, drawn by the thrill and beauty of the site. Today, Wedding Cake Rock is officially closed to the public, with barriers and fines in place to enforce the closure. 13. Guaíra Falls. Guaíra Falls was once a breathtaking natural site where the River Paraná plunged in a roaring cascade of waterfalls along the Brazil-Paraguay border. The falls were a magnificent display of nature's power, with volumes of water that rivaled even the famous Niagara Falls. The thunder of the falls could be heard miles away, drawing visitors and locals alike who came to witness the awe-inspiring beauty. In 1982, this natural wonder met a tragic end. The construction of the Itaipu Dam, one of the largest hydroelectric dams in the world, led to the flooding of Guaíra Falls. As the water levels rose, the falls slowly disappeared beneath the surface of the newly formed reservoir. The final blow came when rocks and geological formations around the falls were removed with dynamite to facilitate the dam's construction. Today, where the falls once flowed, there is only the quiet expanse of the lake. If you liked this video so far, leave a like, and you can also check out 25 most wonderful places in the world on our channel 4 Evergreen. 12. Maya Bay in the Phi Phi Islands. Maya Bay, set among the stunning Phi Phi Islands in Thailand, captured the world's attention after its appearance in the 2000 film The Beach, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Its pristine sands and crystal-clear waters made it a must-visit destination, featured on postcards and travel guides as a slice of paradise. However, the beauty and allure of Maya Bay came with unforeseen consequences. The bay's fame turned it into a tourist magnet, attracting thousands of visitors daily. By 2018, the impact of mass tourism became too great to ignore. The beach was suffering. The once vibrant coral reefs were weakening, and the local ecosystem was under stress from the constant flow of people. In a move to save the bay, Thai authorities made the tough decision to close it indefinitely to visitors. The closure was aimed at giving Maya Bay a chance to recover, to heal from the wounds inflicted by its own popularity. 11. Duckbill. Duckbill, a unique sandstone formation at Cape Kiwanda in Oregon, was a natural sculpture that resembled a duck's bill. Standing about 7 feet tall, this remarkable rock formation was crafted by nature over millions of years. It was a favorite spot for photographers and nature lovers who marveled at its odd shape and the stunning backdrop of the Pacific Ocean. Tragically, in August 2016, Duckbill's long history came to a sudden end. A video that surfaced on the internet showed a group of individuals pushing against the rock formation until it toppled and broke apart. The act of vandalism shocked and saddened the community and those who cherished this natural landmark. Despite the loss, Cape Kiwanda continues to attract visitors with its beautiful views and opportunities for hiking and hang gliding. But the absence of duckbill leaves a void that echoes the fragility of nature's art. 10. Buddhas of Bamiyan. The Buddhas of Bamiyan were once monumental statues that stood proudly in the Bamiyan Valley of Afghanistan, carved into the side of a cliff. These statues, created in the 6th century, were not only marvels of religious art, but also landmarks of cultural heritage. The largest of the statues towered at 180 feet, making it the tallest standing Buddha sculpture in the world at the time. In March 2001, these irreplaceable treasures were destroyed by the Taliban, who viewed the figures as idolatrous. The world watched in horror as explosives were used to demolish the statues, reducing them to wreckage. Today, the site where the Buddhas once stood is marked by empty alcoves, a haunting reminder of what was lost. The valley was later designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and there has been ongoing debate about the possibility of reconstructing the statues. Occasionally, holograms are projected into the empty niches to honor the Buddhas. 9. The Azure Window. The Azure Window, located on the island of Gozo in Malta, was a stunning natural arch that seemed like a bridge to another world. Formed through the collapse of a sea cave, probably in the 19th century, it became one of Malta's most iconic landmarks. Its majestic presence was celebrated in films and TV shows, like Game of Thrones, making it a pilgrimage site for fans and a favorite subject for photographers from around the globe. Sadly, in March 2017, the Azure Window was lost forever. A fierce storm hit with powerful waves that finally brought down the arch that had stood against the sea for centuries. The news of its collapse was met with disbelief and sorrow by those who had visited or hoped to visit one day. While the wreckage of the Azure Window has created a new habitat for marine life and now attracts divers, the silhouette that once framed the horizon is sorely missed. Talking about tourist attractions, you can also check out our video on top 15 best holiday destinations for 2020. 8. Pink and White Terraces. The Pink and White Terraces of New Zealand were once known as the 8th wonder of the world. These naturally formed terraces were created by geothermal activity on the edges of Lake Rottamahana, with mineral-rich waters spilling over the sides, depositing silica that hardened to form delicate tiers of pink and white. Visitors in the 19th century were mesmerized by their otherworldly beauty and the beneficial qualities of the thermal waters. However, this natural wonder was not to last. In 1886, the catastrophic eruption of Mount Tarawera caused massive destruction, burying the terraces under volcanic ash and mud, and dramatically altering the landscape. It was a shocking event that also claimed over 150 lives in nearby villages. Recent research suggests parts of the terraces may still exist beneath the lake, but they are no longer visible, and the vivid images that once graced countless paintings and photographs are now just memories. 7. Lake Poopó. Lake Poopó, once Bolivia's second-largest lake, now serves as a dark example of environmental degradation. Located in the Oruro department, this salty lake was an essential source of livelihood for local communities, providing water for agriculture, fishing, and supporting a diverse ecosystem. However, in 2016, Lake Poopó completely dried up. While this wasn't the first time, it had also vanished in 1994. It was a more devastating blow due to its scale and the implications tied to climate change and human activity. The drying of Lake Poopó was largely attributed to a combination of factors, including climate change, which has led to reduced rainfall and higher temperatures, and the diversion of tributary rivers for mining and farming in the upstream areas. This tragic loss has not only disrupted the lives of thousands who depended on the lake for their livelihoods, but also led to the disappearance of fish species and migratory birds. 6. Sutro Baths. The Sutro Baths, nestled in a scenic cove near San Francisco's Ocean Beach, were once grand evidence to the ambitions of Adolph Sutro, a former mayor of San Francisco. Opened in 1894, these public bathhouses were among the largest and most extravagant of their time, featuring 7 different swimming pools with varying temperatures, accommodating up to 10,000 visitors at once. The complex also boasted an arena, concert hall, and a museum with diverse artifacts, including Egyptian mummies and other curiosities. Despite its initial popularity, the Sutro Baths struggled financially due to the high costs of maintenance and operation. Over the years, the challenges of keeping such a vast and elaborate facility profitable became insurmountable. Eventually, the baths closed in 1964 and were further sealed by tragedy when they burned down in 1966, under mysterious circumstances. 5. Palmyra. Palmyra, often referred to as the Bride of the Desert, was more than just an ancient city in Syria. It was a historical crossroads of cultures and civilizations. Its strategic location along caravan routes that linked the Roman Empire with Persia and the East made Palmyra a vibrant melting pot of Greek, Roman, and Persian influences, visible in its unique architecture and artifacts. However, in 2015, the city met a tragic fate when it was captured by ISIS. The militants destroyed significant parts of this ancient city, including temples, tombs, and towers, claiming they were idolatrous. The world watched in horror as irreplaceable monuments, such as the Temple of Bel and the iconic Arch of Triumph, were reduced to wreckage. The destruction of Palmyra was not just a loss of ancient stones, but a devastating blow to our global cultural heritage, erasing links to a past that helped shape modern civilization. 4. Chacaltaya Glacier. The Chacaltaya Glacier in Bolivia was once the world's highest ski resort, perched at an altitude of over 17,000 feet. It was not just a sports venue, but also a symbol of the majestic Andean landscapes, offering breathtaking views and a unique skiing experience atop its ancient ice. Scientists and tourists alike were drawn to Chacaltaya, which had existed for thousands of years, providing a critical water source for nearby communities. By 2009, however, the glacier had completely melted away, a victim of climate change and global warming. The loss is deeply felt by the local communities that depended on the glacier for water, and by the scientific community that studied it. Today, where ice once dominated the landscape, only rock and memories remain.
The last person to go down these peaks. Let's see what happens. Wow! I've done it!
3. Boeung Lake. Boeung Lake was once a vibrant hub in the heart of Phnom Penh, Cambodia, where community life thrived along its waters. Families gathered here, children played, and fishermen cast their nets, providing a picturesque scene of daily life against the calm expanse of the lake. It was not just a body of water, but a source of livelihood, culture, and community for many Cambodians. However, in the mid-2000s, the lake's fate took a dramatic turn. The Cambodian government leased the area to a private company for development, leading to the lake being filled in with sand to make way for new buildings. This development dramatically altered the landscape and the lives of the local residents. Over 4,000 families were displaced, losing their homes and their access to the water that sustained their way of life. Today, where water once flowed, buildings stand, a stark reminder of the impact of urban development on natural habitats and traditional communities. 2. Nazca Lines. The Nazca Lines in Peru are one of the world's most mysterious archaeological sites, consisting of hundreds of giant figures and lines etched into the desert ground over 1,500 years ago. These remarkable geoglyphs depict various shapes and forms, including animals, plants, and geometric patterns, visible only from the air. The lines have intrigued historians and archaeologists for decades. Tragically, this irreplaceable UNESCO World Heritage Site faced a severe threat in 2018, when a truck driver, reportedly unaware of the site's significance, drove across the desert, leaving deep tire marks across several of the lines. This act of negligence caused significant damage to an area roughly 100 feet long, disturbing the surface and affecting several of the ancient designs. The incident highlighted the vulnerability of the Nazca Lines and raised awareness about the need for stricter protection measures to preserve these cultural treasures for future generations. 1. Jonah's Tomb. Jonah's Tomb, located in Mosul, Iraq, was not only an important historical site, but also a place of deep spiritual significance for multiple religions, including Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. According to tradition, it was the burial site of the prophet Jonah, known in the Bible for his role in the story where he is swallowed by a giant fish. The site was revered for centuries as a place of prayer and reflection, attracting pilgrims and visitors from around the world. In 2014, the tomb met a tragic fate during the turbulent conflicts in the region. Militants from ISIS, who controlled the city at the time, destroyed Jonah's tomb, along with other cultural and religious monuments. They used explosives to demolish the site, claiming that the veneration of tombs and saints was against their interpretation of Islamic teachings. The destruction of this ancient tomb was a heartbreaking loss, felt deeply by communities across the globe. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more captivating adventures from Forever Green.